Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome to episode 13. Time to build a new tank. The Research Bureau has just spit out a new tank for me, or at least a new chassis. This is the new version. We're going to have the single turret light tank. It's a light tank. It's something that, other than the light tractor, we don't really have in the lineup. So I think this might make a valuable addition. In the meanwhile, I'm working on another version of the Heavy Independent. They're definitely not light tanks by any stretch of the imagination, but ideally they are quite potent. Anyway, that new tank. Let's go for a tier 2. Let's just fold everything back up. There's the light tractor, there's the mid tractor. Where is it? Is that one? Yeah, the light mark E, type B. That is, well, convoluted, but okay. Attribute sum 752, that's not bad for a hull. I think it will have taken the most advanced parts, but let's see. It is definitely a small tank. I think we'll be ending up in the range of what, like 7 to 8 tons? Depending on what sort of power plant you put into that. And regarding those power plants, I have two options which are immediately springing to mind. I have the Puma i6, or I have the first diesel engine, the AEK i6. This one, of course, with 105 horsepower, a bit more powerful. Still the same crew requirements. And weight-wise, it's a little heavier. 200 might make a sizable difference here. Let's see. Power-to-weight ratio +7. Okay, that's nice. Then we're going to have some tracks. Keep in mind, this is a very tiny tank. We can only have 4 crew members here. That'll be all. Yeah, I suppose this could work. Oh, wow, we're already at 10 tons. Unfortunately, these have pretty high crew requirements. If you really want to mess them up, you can go with the Dahoos, and you'll find that you simply don't have enough crew at all, because you cannot squeeze enough crew members in this to have enough mechanics. We also have the Cobalt tracks. Those are only a crew requirement of 2, so that might line up quite well. And giving me a pretty respectable power-to-weight ratio, giving me a decent amount of displacement. I think the Cobalts are actually a pretty good contender here. And especially if you kind of double track them, maybe you can actually get a pretty decent amount of speed out of them as well. We also have the Luton tracks. These are a little too heavy. They are too heavy without offering any more design limits, so that's not it. We also have the Matagot tracks, which I'm not even sure which tanks they were designed for, but they look absolutely out of place on this chassis. I mean, not that that's ever stopped me before. I think they're a little heavy for what they do, which makes sense because it says they're a 1928 modern, but that's actually a lie because they're not. They're a tier 1, so we're not using those. So let's filter by tier 2. I want to get as much of an attribute sum out of these things. I think these just fit the best. They do make for a fairly heavy tank, though. That's kind of a downside. Going with, what was it, Cobalts, you get a far lower attribute sum, but you also get a lower weight of the tank. And that is something that contracts sometimes do appreciate. And actually for the Cobalts, maybe just go for the basic ones. There. You're probably going to sacrifice some agility. Yeah, 2 points of agility. Obstacle step height, slight change. Road speed, 32. Crossroad speed, 24. Yeah, it's fine. Turret. What are we going to put on this thing? I was going to put a placeholder turret on here, like that. Because this thing requires 3 crew members. What sort of a gun? I think just a 3-pounder will do. We have the 3-pounder OQF Mark II for 315. Can you sort by attribute sum, please? I want to see what sort of a firepower level I can get onto this thing. Oh, the German one. Yeah, but the problem with the German KWK 3775 is that it requires 8 crew. It will supposedly fit in this tank, but I don't think I can mount enough crew on this tank just to command that gun. So we'll go with the German smaller brother. And that's the KWK 37. Sorry, 3637. Only requires 4 crew members. And yeah, the 333 is the best one. Okay, then a coaxial machine gun, in which place we shall put, I think it is still the Madsen at 222 that kind of takes the cake. Oh, sorry, 286 here. My bad. That's a far better machine gun. We got the 306 for the Germans. Yeah, let's take this one. Okay, now, crew. Can this actually work? We need a driver, but this driver can apparently multitask. We do need a full-time commander, and then we need a loader, and we need a mechanic. You're going to be the mechanic, you're going to be the loader. Done. It's going to be a little crowded in this tank, but I suppose that if it all fits, perfectly fine. Let's go do it. Time to engineer that hull. Let's have a look. Light tank. What sort of gadgets and gizmos do we have? We don't have a lot. There's quite a lot missing. Especially being able to repair the tank all by yourself is definitely handy, because some contracts really want that. It's going to come at the expense of crew comfort. Crew comfort, how are we doing there? 26. So yeah, I can sacrifice a little bit. I can also go with the rivets, but they're... I don't believe that they're as easy to reassemble. They do take up less space, but crew safety is less. Crew safety is 34, crew comfort is 26. So if I take this one, we're looking at 32, 35. If I take this one, we're going to be skewing it in favor of crew safety. Maybe not the best option then. Let's go with this. Okay, we do have a radio aboard. This is going to help with the crew awareness. It's currently 21. I think that's enough. Crew aiming at 25 should be fine. And we got the tri-beam headlights. We have a bolted hatch. It's a 2.5, so that's good. But is that what I want? Because the rear thickness is taking a slight hit. If you go for... Which one was it? It was the German hatch. One of them had operational range, because my operational range is a little limited with this tank. It's 12. So I can either add a different type of hatch, or I can add some fuel stowage. So let's do that. Let's add fuel stowage. It's going to, again, come at the expense of crew safety. Sorry, people. We'll just try and fix that some other way. And then for the type of armor, we're going to go with the Wotan cemented steel, which does definitely make it heavier by a lot. 20%. So now we're going from 5 tons to 6 tons. Sorry, 6 tons. Hopefully, the protection will make up for it. The front thickness and side thickness, I mean, this is a light tank. This is not something that you use to break through a wall or to break through a line. Shock resistance, kinetic resistance, small spall resistance, they're all very good. I'm going to stick with those. As for armor protection, I really don't want to touch these sliders unless I absolutely have to. And I really don't want to. Shells, we definitely carry plenty. And ammo for the soft machine gun, I think that'll be enough. So let's save that and go back to the design, because this just kind of changes the whole deal, potentially. Yeah. We now have a very bad power-to-weight ratio. Crap. If I go with the Puma... This might make it worse. Now, we're looking at a minus 45. Alternatively, we can try and fit... No, we can't. Crap. Okay, so we need a better engine. We need something that's a little more powerful. And I'm not sure if I have it. So I guess we'll just have to stick with this one, but... Can we fit a lighter turret? Can we fit a lighter turret? Because the turret, while good, I mean really good, very good attribute sum, and it's extremely well armored. Because this thing has 30, 30, 30. So that's good. But it's very heavy. It's 1800. If I'm going to go with the Sturmpanzer, maybe for just about the same weight, or well, a little bit less, I can still make this feasible. Yeah, that's the only tier 2s that I have. So it would be like that. Good lord. They don't make them pretty. Yeah, now your armor just drops to 14. So your armor gets cut in half? Is it really that bad? Yeah, I think it is really that bad. Okay. If I would pick that other turret, my power-to-weight ratio is minus 33, and that's without the gun. And now it's minus 41. Oh, this thing is going to be underpowered. Road speed, 16. Yikes. Maybe we're going to have to go back to engineering of the main hull. and change some stats there. Because I think the Wotan cemented steel is too heavy. It's got great resistance, but you're paying very, very serious debuffs for it. If I go for this, I'm shaving off about 300 kilograms. So let's try that and then go back. Maybe this will just... Yeah, it's not really moving the needle, is it? What about the tracks? The tracks are fairly weighty, but I don't believe there's a whole lot of room to change those. You can go for these, the Pegasus, but we're going to run into the same problem. They cannot carry them. The track is simply too heavy. Now, I am researching some new tracks, or at least I will be in the future. So maybe that can fit. Good lord, this looks atrocious. It also doesn't fit on the tank. I think we're stuck. I think we're stuck with kobolds. They're really going to hate the mobility on this tank. They're really going to hate it. Okay, I guess we're just stuck with the situation as we had it. And maybe wait for a slightly better engine to come out. Because the engine that I now have, I think it is going to do very poorly, unfortunately. And there is not that much that I can tweak about that engine that I have. Because it's pretty much maxed out as is. Bring a loader. There you go. Yeah. Minus 43 power to weight ratio. Let's have a chat with that engine. Maybe we can do something a little better. I kind of doubt it because you cannot crank out more horsepower. But maybe we can boost some of the stats, like road speed, cross-country speed, or even make the engine itself lighter. That'd be lovely. But probably not by much. What's the biggest mass of this thing? It's the semi-automatic gearbox. Okay. If I go back one tier, we're shaving off 70 kilograms. Like, that's not exactly going to win any contests. Repairability is very good. If I'm switching to this, we are going to be getting a lot of cross-country speed. And we're shaving off a little bit of weight and a little bit of volume. The pre-selector gearbox is lighter still, but takes up a lot more room. So I'm not touching that. The next biggest thing is the preheating radiator. This one. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot that you can do about that without dramatically changing the specs of the engine or going back to tier 1. The tier 1s can be a lot lighter, like a 244, but it's not exactly interesting. So, in this case, I'm getting a little bit of a debuffed obstacle slope angle. Yeah, that's not great. Over here, I would get that back. I am shaving off a whole 29 kilograms. Operational range is going to suffer. Oof, a lot. Maybe with the additional fuel on the tank, I can kind of fix that. But it won't really be pretty. Crew comfort. Yeah, they don't exactly like it. I need a new radiator somewhere. What if I go for this? This is lighter. It takes up less volume. You're definitely not getting the same type of off-road speed. But cross-country speed of 50 I think is doable. As for the flywheel, we're using a tier 2 Mark 5. And it is going to cost us some obstacle step height, but that is fine. We have plenty of that. If you want to go with a little bit more obstacle step height or obstacle trench width, no, this will be fine. Okay. Weight of this engine is now 1808. So we saved, what? Almost nothing. Comparatively, yeah, we saved 40 kilograms. Okay, that was arguably not very worth it. Regarding those tracks, I can still cut off those side pieces, right? Edit the cobalts. Because that will make it lighter. Just kick off the grousers. And the swing arm. What's the heaviest part of this thing? Yeah, definitely the swing arms. They're tier 2 Mark 1. I have tier 2 Mark 3. This is too much. This might work. Because you're shaving off another 230 kilograms, a bit more, of the suspension at the expense of road speed. But not that much. Operational range actually improves. Good. Okay. So we're going to try and make these things a little lighter. Then, what else is heavy? Yeah, the bolted sprocket and basically everything else. What we're currently using is a tier 2-3. And this is road speed. This is obstacle trench width. Crew comfort is something I don't really want to sacrifice too much more of. Because we're down to 25 now, just with that track. And what we're getting is a bit of obstacle trench width. But this is not a big tank to begin with. So I think we can just stick with that. And then the bolted sprocket. We're using a tier 2 Mark 1. If I take the duraluminum one, it's going to be a lot lighter at the expense of agility. But we have plenty of agility to burn. So let's do that. Okay. So now we made the whole track system a little lighter. Let's do that. With these latest few episodes, I'm really feeling like I'm getting the hang of the game. And I'm trying to engineer pretty much every single part to do exactly what I want it to do. My power to weight ratio is still pretty awful. The road speed of this thing is okay. Cross-country speed is okay. It'll not really excel in any given department. Maybe as a hull-down tank that just peeks over anything with its turret, you might get some efficacy out of it, because the rest of it, especially the sides, they're a bit fragile. Anything else I can engineer? Like, we already touched everything, I think, except maybe the turret. Let's have a look at the turret. What sort of gear do we have on the turret? This sight weighs almost nothing. So it's something I can kick off. Like, I can just remove it. But that's going to come at the expense of crew aiming. And I do like the crew to aim and at least have some awareness as to what's going on. Oh, sorry, this is the debuff for aiming. This one is debuff for awareness, which we have plenty of, but a boost to aiming. So let's take that. Then we have the radio, which is going to boost aiming, crew comfort, and crew awareness. Sorry, crew awareness drops, which makes no sense because you're actually able to talk to the allies. Okay. Improve cemented steel. I could take this back to this 12% and shave off another 50 kilograms or so at the expense of a little bit of spall, well, a lot of spall resistance. And if I go to this, we're gaining a lot of weight. We're gaining 90 kilograms here, and now we're saving. No, I'm not touching that. And then the vision sight. I think it's the best one we have. At least for what we need. Crew safety, not great, but we have a lot of stat here, so that's good. Yeah, I'm going to keep it as is. Save. Back to design. I'm a little annoyed about that engine. I would love a better engine than what I'm currently getting. Maybe with expendables I can still kind of fix that with the purified oil. But this is mostly reliability. Like, it doesn't give you engine power. Power unit, repairability. Yeah, there we go. The fuel is going to give you more operational range. And operational range, I think, was already pretty good with this tank. 11. Yeah, so with the resistance fuel, we can put that up to 15. I don't mind that. We're going to have a decent amount of punch with this gun. There we go. Firepower. What I'm looking for is to boost the stats of damage and kinetic pen and potentially shock pen. So, let's go with the best shell that we have, which gives you spall pen, lots of kinetic pen. I like that. Damage also increases to 52. And we're going to go for something that has a bit more shock penetration, which is the fixed QF mine shell for 15. I'm trying to sort of balance these things out. Machine gun, soft firepower. Well, we don't have a spall penetration, but again, I don't really care for that because the rate at which, well, I mean, if you can go with machine gun through a tank, by all means, but your chance of causing spalling is not exactly most likely way to kill it. This is to deal with infantry. So I'm looking for damage output, really. That means I want the phosphorus cartridge. Oh, sorry, I already had that one. Yeah, the other one isn't that pre-war. Fine, we'll take the tungsten core. Get potentially a bit more range out of it. And then paint the thing. Yeah, we could just paint the barrel because everything else hasn't been engineered yet. Fine. Everything is a concept. What can we do here? Not much, not much, not much, not much. I just got to make sure that it is using all those parts. Unfortunately, my engineering department is a little busy, so at the moment I cannot start engineering this tank just yet. I'm a bit torn on the engine. I think that's the letdown of this tank. And there's not a whole lot I can do to fix that. This one, the Phantom i6, 90 horsepower. I think it's too weak for what I need. I already have all the parts. Because the engine that I put in there right now is the diesel one. Right? Yeah, it's the diesel 105 horsepower. So anything else is going to be worse. That's unfortunate. So it's just going to have a pretty shit power to weight ratio. Road speed 21. Yeah, okay. I will try and engineer this thing. I will try and build this thing and see if it works. But I'm not terribly optimistic about its performance. As I was waiting for the various engineering parts for the Light Mark E to complete, I decided to take another look at the Light Tractor. Can I improve this thing with the parts that I have now? Yes, but you'll hate it. Ta-da! It's a tank with a bobblehead. It's supposedly not even top heavy. Well, somehow. Unfortunately, with the type and, well, the engine, as well as the turret and the gun that are in there, as well as the hull, it got a little crowded in the tank. So I couldn't exactly fit as many crew members as I really wanted. This thing only has a crew of 4, as opposed to 5. But its attribute sum is 1990 versus 1892. Unfortunately, that does come at some weight. This thing is 700 kilograms heavier. So I'm hoping that all of that attribute sum boost is going to make up for it. It's an ugly tank. Let's not mince words. It's an ugly tank. It's, I don't know. The British turrets are just pretty terrible. At least visually. But hey, maybe somebody actually wants this tank. Interestingly, it's not even underpowered. It's not as overpowered as the engine, but I only had to sacrifice 1 point in power to weight ratio. That's all. And pretty much all the stats are an improvement. And that is only when it's not even going through the proving ground. So we're going to be finishing this thing up, throwing it into the proving ground, and then having a look at what I can improve. Fixing all the flaws, because I think there will be many. And I think that with boosting those, with fixing all that stuff, I can get quite a lot of things just removed. And potentially boost the attribute sum even more. Ooh, a new trophy. Yeah, unfortunately, I already know everything about that. No new components there. Interesting how they did make this thing twice as expensive. For this less weight. Oh, the attribute sum, look at that. 878 versus 1700. That's a pretty hefty attribute sum right there. There are some stats that I generally don't even look at. Like the internal politics. I'm not sure how useful this screen is. Seeing as in 12 or 13 episodes, I've never had to look at it once. Same as Army Corps and Tank Corps. You can see what sort of tanks they have. But whether or not that is interesting, whether or not that's something that I should look into, maybe if you just provide Italy with light tanks, and I don't know, you provide Austria-Hungary with heavy tanks, you're going to see some sort of impact in a war between them. Because Italy's light tanks might be numerous, but they probably won't hold a candle to Austria-Hungary's heavy tanks. Again, I'm just spitballing here. This way, Italy might lose the war, and thus come back wanting more tanks. Anyway, I can initiate a contract with him. It is a pretty sizable contract at that. It's worth 2 million. And what they're seeking is an economical female tank. So you just want a machine gun? They don't even want a heavy gun? Yeah, they just... they just want a machine gun. I'm not sure I have something that you want. Whoa, look at the boost in stats for the Light Tractor 3. 1367. That's a nice boost. Whereas the price tag is only 3k increase. So it's not that bad for me. The duck? No, they hate the duck. Okay. I think the heavy independent's also not going to be to their liking because it is way, way too heavy. Seeing as they're probably... Yeah, they're looking at 22 tons. Well, don't I have anything that's worth 22 tons? Where's the light tank? Where's the light marquee? Wait, why can I not select that? That's weird. I can select the light tractor, but not the new version? Probably disliking this one because it's heavy. No, they don't dislike it that much. I don't get this. I can hand in experimental tanks. No. Hold on. Let me finish up engineering that tank. Romania wants tanks. Not right now, Romania. The British want tanks. The Vanguards. Okay, we can get you Vanguards. Here. The Light Tractor V3 is now a light. This is not what I would call a Vanguard tank. Considering its defenses. Also, if you look at the stats for this tank, it's 4,900 versus 4,500. Yeah, no. I don't think so. I think all of my tanks are pretty much going to do what they want. Because they got way better stats. Even the duck will probably suffice. Yeah. Even the CB16 will suffice. That's an old tank. Okay, seeing as I want to sell more of the Light Tractor, I'm going to first wait for that thing to go through the proving ground. Just about now. There you go, that's been fixed. Okay, let me fix up all these mistakes, all these flaws, and see if that will change the design of the tank. Because there are 13 flaws, and we're going to just do, ta-da, amend all. Done. And now we have a stat value of 2028. That's a nice bonus. That is a nice bonus. This thing has a road speed of 55. Its sister only had a 50 and a cross-country speed of 31. This one has 22, so it's not as fast cross-country. But it makes up for that with protection. I think. Yeah, 14 frontal thickness. Whereas this one has 18 and 17. I mean, again, it looks like shit, but people do want it. And I'm going to assume that they will want more of it. So while the Light Tractor V2 is actually good enough, I'm going to go with the V3. Simply so that I start building more and more fame on that. That's what I want. We're going to be getting just as many of these things as possible for a total of 1.5 million. Easy. And seeing as I have such an enormous success score, they will accept it. It is that straightforward. They will just accept it. We're going to have to build... Where are you? Here. These. And they wanted how many? 30. I should have enough... No, I don't have enough high carbon steel for that. Oh, not by a decent amount. Okay, fine. Let's go for 10. No, not even that. Start working and we'll start getting more resources in. There are definitely better ways to be playing the game relative to what I'm doing. The reason why I'm not really paying attention is because I have 48 million. The game doesn't feel like a challenge anymore. And that's something that I think they need to change. Because you, at some point, just get so much money that you go, this is fine. I'm not interested in this contract. I have so many resources now that I don't really care about contracts anymore. And sure, I'm burning through like 300k a month. A little more. I don't care about that either. Because one contract can make up for that pretty much instantly on its own. High carbon steel, check. What else do they need? Rubber. Let's go get you some rubber. I'm going through the Middle East because generally I don't need it in a very big hurry. I put that deadline like way into the future, so that's fine. I don't need iron. I don't need high medium carbon steel. Yep, off you go. Now, the last thing that I want to do is, well, two things really. I want to have a look. There you go. At that light tank in the proving grounds. Once it's done, I want to drive it. Because I think that it is not great. Oh, the resources have arrived. Good. Go back to production. So we were building like, what, 7? And they wanted 30, so we're going to have to add another 23 to the lineup. There's also a new filter here, required by contracts. I didn't notice that one before, but I think it's really nice. So I can just add another 23 tanks, 42 days. Fine, off you go. I did shuffle my administrators around a little bit, and leading to that is that I cannot have 600 workers here anymore, but just 525. So that should be sufficient to at least keep the tanks going. And especially as my tanks are so good, I can move these deadlines up quite a lot. Like this is 4 months from now. And that means I am not in any kind of a hurry to fix my administrator issue. You want that? You hate that, you hate that, you hate that. You just need a replacement for this for 220,000. 500,000. Like, this is a contract that I'm going, not interested. Romania is going to have to shop somewhere else. Basil Zarahov. A top executive from Greece. Let's have a look. Oh, there's actually a few of them available for hire. Unfortunately, at this point, I have most of my businesses, most of my offices already filled. So there's not that many more spaces for them to go. I think at the moment, there is nowhere else to fit admins. Because I have... Yeah, I got 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. So the only place where I could fit another one is the production hall. Is there anybody who works quite well in the production hall? Yeah. Jean Bazin. He's going to have a breakthrough chance, which I don't care about. More workers per line. Yeah, you are coming to my factory. 10 days. Off you go. Okay, let's get that tank fixed up. And then start driving it. Ah, the light tractor has been finished. Excellent. It's the first line. And we got the dual purpose turret. Definitely making progress. I am fixing up my the rest of my structure because I want to get the rest of the parts. Let's go with the superior dual purpose turret. And we're finally getting some new parts. It's been a while since we got some new parts. Because everything that I have has pretty much been gotten from either my own research or reverse engineering. Ooh, breakthrough. So there isn't that much more to research. Which also means that this series is slowly but steadily coming to an end. As we're kind of running out of things to do. Even mobility has been almost fully researched. I can get the leaf spring, which this is the Pegasus Mark 1, this is the Pegasus 2. But I already have all the parts, including the Pegasus gear, I think. I will research them, because sometimes the game doesn't allow you to fit them on a tank. Especially your native tanks, if you don't seem to have the parts for yourself. But I don't really think that I really need to do a whole lot there. Okay, so now I can push this tank out even faster by throwing another couple workers in there. There you go. It saved me a whole 3 days. We have 13 tanks ready. Proving ground complete. I want to drive it. Does this thing actually perform as awful as I think it will? Fix up all these flaws. There you go. Road speed 23, crossroad 24. Yeah, like it won't be really stellar. It's not a light tractor. It's not going to be anything as sporty as that. There you are. Let's have a look. The benefit to this thing is supposedly that it's more survivable, especially with that turret. I'm not at all disappointed. It does seem to be doing, like, following the road all by itself. I'm not steering it. I'm just pressing W. Can we not fall into the trench? Okay. That ventilation shaft on the back seems to have some clipping issues. Also seems like a great spot to toss a grenade into. So I hope that that roster holding it back is big enough. Does this thing shift? Yeah, its agility is okay, but it's not as agile as some of the other tanks that I've built. Firepower-wise, no, not bad. Not bad. Got that one. Can we do this one on the move? Yes. Because I think that a light tank generally survives or dies by its maneuverability. If it cannot move, you'll find that you soon don't have a tank anymore. And if you are just moving around and hard to hit... Are you kidding? There. If you're moving around and you're hard to hit, that should aid in your survivability. I did not get that one. Oh, I got it. Oh, these down with the machine gun. Yeah, the machine gun and the turret, they work quite well. Which makes sense, because they're not British. I mean, the British turrets are interesting, shall we say. They're big, they're clunky. They do seem to work, but I just don't really like the aesthetics of them. Anyway, that's it for the episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed the light tank. Let me know what else you would like to see from this playthrough, as I think the long process of awaiting potentially World War II tanks, which might be the next era that they're going to be working on, starts. The previous series I did in February, which means that there was new content back then. Now it's August/September, so if the pattern continues, we'll have to wait another 6 months. I hope they can get it done faster, but, you know, I'd rather have them do it right than rush this thing out the door, as much as I'm going to play it. Because I do want to start building all sorts of weird and wonderful creations from World War II, of course. The KV tanks with, I don't know, T-34 turrets, or a blend between, well, ideally the American tanks, by the time that they're going to get here. American tanks like the M4 with a KV turret. You can create all sorts of Frankenstein stuff. And I'm all for it. So, again, down below in the comments, let me know what else you want me to show you, what else you want me to build. And I will happily get to building. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon for more videos.